Woods kicks inside forward 50. There's Overall again. He delivers the ball back inside 50, this time into the centre corridor, and finds Politis just inside the forward 50. Philo running around the back, calling for it. He receives, kicks long towards goal, and he's thumped that straight through the middle. And I think most coaches in the league would say you've got to be aware of Philo running around the back from a mark or a free kick, because he loves it and uses the ball well normally when he does receive it. Although last week he was a bit off with his disposal, but that was a beautiful finish from 50.
He's definitely on tonight, Philo, right from the first contest. He's been in everything, so Wanderers probably need to put a little bit more work into him, I think, especially around that contest. It's pretty easy to stop that round the back, sort of a hand clap kick, but you know, that's a pretty elite kick from 50 to plant that home.
Yeah, really got to be aware around the stoppages there, but around the set plays. So Henry White going in to do the ruck work for Wanderers up against Locke. Locke gets his hands to it, but White at ground level does really well. Gets a hand pass out to Clee. Clee quickly onto the boot towards the outer side of the ground. It's thumped away. Running onto it again here is Davidson, but Philo got in there first, got the hand pass inboard to Peris. Peris runs around one, gets the hand pass forward, and now Politis kicks long down towards half forward. And at ground level is another opportunity with a snapshot for goal, but it's gone out wide. Oh! Smashing into the behind post there was... just trying to see who it was, but gee, he hit the post.
Overall.
Yeah, it is. It's
still shaking.
Overall again, yeah. But the ball went out on the full, so no sympathy there as the chip pass comes into Arbin in the back pocket. So Nathan Arbin just slows things down for Wanderers here. He's got players on the lead very close to the boundary line, but Aiken Lewis takes that mark, and he's looking, wow, they're flirting with the boundary here, and that one didn't stay in, and it's 50-metre penalty because it was, the whistle went for out on the full. Domick didn't realise it, but it's going to take him almost to the goal line, and Brett Kennedy will score what should be a pretty easy goal here. So it's player on the mark's about 5 metres out. Kennedy wastes no time and thumps it through for Nightcliff's 5th goal, and it's starting to look a bit dangerous here as far as Wanderers are concerned. Nightcliff just getting off the leash.
Yeah, I don't buy it that he didn't know that was out in the full. I think the umpire looked to see straight through him as well, Stu. There was, he had his back to it, but he knew it was out of bounds on the full. So a bit of lack of discipline there, but can't afford to give away 50s when you're probably losing the contest anyway. So you know, these midfielders in Nightcliff, they had it taken up to them last week, but they're showing a fair bit of dominance here at the moment. They're connecting well with their forwards as well. We're at nearly 20-minute mark, and it's 5-2-32 to Wanderers 1-2-8.
So hacked off the ground there by Marley King for Wanderers. Gets it forward, but they can't get their hands on it as Eilert just reaches in and picks it up, gets the hand pass out, and now Nightcliff running it through the hands, through the centre of the ground. That one's just slid off the side of the boot, but it's going to be to Nightcliff's advantage again as Aidan Scott comes in, picks up, swings around, and chips the ball forward. Oh, strong punch from behind by Clee for Wanderers, and it's been all over the ground for them so far as the ball finds its way out of bounds. So from the throw in, Lock in front, the ball gets over the back, nicely taken down there by Tardru. They get it across here to Politis, who kicks, just saw out of the corner of his eye a spare player, and the kick was good, and it's Overall once again, and just some clever work again going inside forward 50.
He's taken on all comers tonight. Just Overall, he's taken on the goal, the point post as well, but he's in that good traditional leading big forward.
And kicks towards goal, just inside that right-hand goal post. So another good finish and another goal to Nightcliff, and they're really piling them on now after Wanderers got one back early, and Nightcliff have kicked the last 4, and Wanderers really need to get their hands on the ball, get some control of the game, and try to get their way back into it. But just good hands going in, and it was Politis who just saw that Overall was in a bit of space out in the corridor, and kicked across his body and found him nicely, and a good finish once again. So Cullinan doing the ruck work up against Overall, who's gone into the middle. The hand pass forward by King didn't find a teammate, but hacked off the ground, and Wanderers get it forward of centre as at ground level. It's just paddled forward again, and burrowing through was Jerome Motlop. He got tackled high, and he'll take the free kick just inside the boundary line, grandstand side here at TIO Stadium. He kicks long to half forward, and reaching over the back, the ball was thumped forward, and trying to wrestle it out of that pack. Eilert eventually does. It's a one-handed hand pass, I think you'd say, and he's penalised for that one, as it's quickly picked up by Davidson. Tries to find someone inside 50 at ground level. It's Domick who does the work, gets it forward. Nathan Brown runs onto it and gets wrapped up in the tackle by Keelan Fijo, and it'll be a ball up at half forward for Wanderers. So Cullinan doing the ruck work again, but at ground level it's hacked off the ground, and the mark claimed and paid to Michael Mummery. Mummery chips the ball inboard, but that's a bit of a lazy kick there as Wanderers close on that, and now Forrester kicks out wide on the bounce. It gets to Clee. Clee drills the ball forward, but straight to an opponent, and Nightcliff bring it back into the corridor again, as they like to do, and now a thumping kick forward, inside forward 50. There's a one-on-one down there. It's taken by Emery, who's going to be penalised for a high fend off here, and the free kick will go to Ryan McMurray for Wanderers. He drills a pass up the middle of the ground to Marley King. He switches inboard, and Wanderers just handing it around, chipping it wide, as Marlon Motlop gets it out there to Nathan Arben, who's off and running with a bounce, and now kicks in towards centre half forward. But again, Nightcliff have worked back in numbers, and Sam Overall takes an easy intercept mark, gets it to Randall, who gets it over the top, and now running onto it is Moody. Moody drills a pass inside forward 50. It gets over the back, but off the hands. Philo, who's just moved forward for the time being, picks up at half forward, kicks towards the goal square, where he's got a player running onto it, who was Cooper Dams. Easy as you like, and just not enough pressure from the Wanderers defenders.
Just too strong, Philo there. It was a one-on-one. He's just pushed off and then had the pace to burn, and I thought he was actually going to have a shot, but Cooper Dams' first game coming out of the SANFL, and shouldn't have any troubles with that one, and he doesn't. So it's starting to look a bit messy already. So we're at the nearly 25-minute mark, so quarter time is beckoning, but it's Nightcliff 6-2-38 to 1-2-8, and that's as pretty much easy as you like, that goal there. Yeah, that's right. As you said, Philo just too strong and too much class, and resting forward, but it's just it's a 50-metre pass, isn't it, really, or 45-metre pass, and just hit the player in the chest, drifting down into the goal square. But not desperate enough in defence, Wanderers, to close down on those players making position up the field. So a 6-goal lead late in this first quarter, and Wanderers just all over the place at the moment, as Nightcliff again try to work it through the middle. Zeus gets the hand pass out, and now the long kick forward. Mummery just couldn't take it over the back, but recovers now. Chips the pass inboard. Emery on the lead, had a couple of opponents that almost looked like a high tackle. Mitchell Taylor chose not to take possession, tapped the ball, and then got tackled. So it was pretty clever work, as he won himself a free kick and chips out wide to Domick. Domick by hand over the top to East. East goes by hand to Fijo. Fijo chips the ball around the boundary line, but nowhere near a target, and in fact it went over the boundary line on the full. So
it'll be a Nightcliff free kick at half-back to Mitch Norton.
There's just not much purpose in their ball movement at all. They're a high possession team. Like, obviously they're the most they've got the most kicks in the league coming into this round, but they're not really penetrating with any sort of threatening manner, because I think Nightcliff are letting them have a couple of them.
So Zust again drives Nightcliff forward, inside forward 50. Ball on the ground at the 50-metre area, tucking the head there, so the free kick not paid. That was Moody. He's in the action again. This time the free kick will be paid for the high tackle, and it's Zach Moody who's played with a bit of purpose in this first quarter and had a bit of the footy, and now he'll have a kick after the siren. It'll take his best, I would think. The player on the mark is a couple of metres inside the 50-metre line, but there's a little bit of breeze that might assist him, and yeah, Zach Moody had a pretty good first quarter, and this to top it off for him. So kick from Moody's got it high, it's going close to the line, but falls short and thumped away, and so no score, and that ends the first quarter. Dave, one that Nightcliff have really dominated, 7 goals to 1, and Wanderers with lots of work to do to get themselves back in this game. Yeah,
very impressive. They're right from the word go. They kicked an early goal, which made them up and about a little bit, but the only goal that Wanderers got was that one over the back sort of thing. It was a nice play, but they use a lot of the footy, as I said before, but don't sort of go forward with any purpose, whereas there's some dominant players for Nightcliff, especially Philo and Kennedy in the midfield. They both use the ball really well, and then big blokes like Overall and these guys up forward are doing their job. They're leading out, and they've probably got a little bit too much space in front of them, but that wraps up quarter time. So here at TIO, and obviously it's Nightcliff 7-2-44, convincingly over Wanderers at quarter time at 1-2-8, and we'll be back after a short break.
Over the top of Buxton, and tackle at ground level. Sees a free kick to Pint, an opportunity for the first score of the game from the set shot. So goal kick looks pretty good. He likes it. Goal umpire likes it, and it's Pint with the first score on the board. It was McDonald who read it on the bounce. Now it comes out to Stephen Potlop. He goes long inside forward 50. Beautiful pass, and out on the lead, out in front was Matt Ryan, the captain. Comes in and kicks on the way. Is that swinging back and up? Yeah, they like it on the sideline. Here it is. And goal umpire signals that's through for a goal. So Aston goes to the advantage of Perris, who sweeps a hand pass inboard. Moody just couldn't control it, but paddled along in front of himself now. Picks up, kicks along towards the goal square once again. 2-on-1 in the goal square. Quickly onto the boot. That's a clever goal by Kennedy down there. He was 1-on-2 against his opponent. Allowed to play on as picked up at ground level by Ryan. His hand pass just missed Motlop, but he recovered well and chips inboard and finds his teammate Sam Coldfield once again. He hands off, and a long kick at goal. It looks good. They like it. Who was that going to be on? Warwick Williams, it might have been. Yeah, it was, I think. So down towards the half-forward line as Edwards runs onto that one, but again can't hit the target. Slips through the hands of Kennedy down there, but now the ball's all the way down to the goal square, following it through, and that's a goal. I didn't see who kicked that one, Dave, but interesting goal out of nothing really for Nightcliff. Really conditions for footy are pretty good at the moment as Nightcliff burst away this time, and again Island at ground level looks like he's cocked one a bit high in that contest, and so Island close to the player on the mark, just swings out to the right, kicks along towards goal. He's certainly got the distance in him. That's a great finish, and a good answering goal by Nightcliff.
Nightcliff working it through the hands, but again, some strong work off the ball, and play on's a call at ground level. Here's the chance for Holt Fitz on the left. He swings it back into the corridor, finds the target, snapshot for a goal from about 10 metres out, and it's another fine goal, and you would think that's just about the sealer. It was Yusuf, I think, long down the middle of the ground, working it through the hands. They get it out wide to Wines, who has got a player at Islet in all sorts of space out here, and he's got one over the top, but backs himself, and after a bounce had a shot at goal. So
last year they need to kill every contest, so they're not doing it very well though. Well, there we go. They didn't have to in the end, so there's the final siren here at the Darwin Mazda Oval here in Nightcliff.
Halfback, District's outside defensive 50. They got the run of the ball. They have. Running hard. Inside, shot on goal. First score of the game. 5.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to TIO Stadium here for round 3 action between Nightcliff and Wanderers. A bit one-sided at the moment here at quarter time with 7-2-44 to Nightcliff to 1-2-8. Welcome back, Stu.
Yeah, Nightcliff first hands on the ball again as Zust across half forward, kicks out wide, looking out there for Emery at ground level. He just caught one high from Mitch Taylor, and he'll take the free kick about 60 metres out from goal on that outer side of the ground. Calling for players to lead, he delivers to the top of the goal square, and they just out-muscled the Wanderers' defence then and kept their feet, and Zust, who won the clearance, ran forward, and he's got on the end of this one, takes the mark, and he'll have a set shot from only about 20 metres out. So not the start in the second quarter that Wanderers were looking for. They haven't had their hands on the ball yet. Cody Zust. Bit of a stuttering run up, kicks at goal. It's another good finish, and again Nightcliff with the early goal, and they continue their dominance in this game.
Yeah, straight out of the middle. Pretty simple stuff, really. I know we noticed there that the Wanderers coach Aaron Motlop had him in a fairly tight huddle and was doing a lot of pointing and talking fairly heavily to his players, but it comes to a point where you just got to stand on some people at a stoppage so they can't get out the front door, and they haven't really done that.
Yeah, so it's just just an uncontested mark in the end.
This is where they're losing it though, right here in the middle. See if they can get on them, but Philo's got his hands on the ball straight away.
Yeah, got it out there to Darms, who just couldn't take possession of it in the end. Clee in tight gets one high as he swung around trying to get the hand pass out, and so the hand pass is off, and now Wanderers going forward. Oh, mark almost taken, but spilt forward. Oh, I think reacted as if he got a hit to the chops there, Davidson, but wasn't seen by the umpire, and the free kick's going to go Nightcliff's way in the end, and they chip it out wide where Norton takes the mark and drills a pass along the boundary line, Cameron Eilert gets onto that one and takes a diving mark. He's called to play on now, swings around on the left and delivers nicely to Peris, who lets the ball slip through his hands, and at ground level Thompson gets a hand pass over the top and then receives back, but he's pinned in pretty well, manages to duck back inside, kicks long into the corridor, big leap from behind, but Nightcliff have got the players, and Morris through the hands gets it out wide, and Nightcliff run it away around the outer side of the ground where the mark's taken by Scott. Adrian Scott, as a player running forward, gets it over the top, not quite taken there by Darms, who but eventually they work it inside forward 50. Ball comes back out here, and Scott again hand passes over the top but misses the target. The big fella Fuller tried to get a hand pass forward, and eventually Wanderers run it out as the kick comes out wide in front of the grandstand here, but at ground level some clever work there by Cabillo to get it back to Thompson, and it's pretty hard in there. The contests are hard, and Nightcliff getting numbers to the ball as Brown sweeps a hand pass to Locke, who delivers short to Philo. Philo drills the ball inside to Zust again, and now Philo running around the back, but Zust takes it on himself, kicks a half forward. The mark was spilt by Overall this time, and Fuller just chips a pass into the corridor and finds King. Marley King has runners out wide. One of those is Motlop, who chips it in to Nathan Arbin. Arbin goes out wide again and finds Matthew Motlop, who kicks out wide, and now Wanderers with the chance to go inboard, but they've got plenty of Nightcliff players who've worked back in defence as that kick comes in long. That's almost a mark taken out there. It's been paid, I think, to Big Henry White. He did well to get his hands underneath that one, made good ground to get to it. Now runs on to the 50, kicks long towards goal. Looks pretty good, but just pulled it to the left and through for behind. Good
positive ball movement though, Stu. That's what they've got to do. That instead of kicking sideways all the time. Let's pick through the defence and try and bite it off and hit some targets, because you're going to get nowhere doing what they did in the first quarter. So positive.
So Philo kicking duties now, kicks it long. Overall got his hands to it. It slipped out the back, and then he got it at ground level. Politis got the hand pass inboard, but Davidson running around the back tried to break the tackle, got caught with it, and he'll be penalised. Trying to claim that he got rid of it, I think, but Jay Moody hands it off to Politis, who kicks long straight down to contest at the top of the goal square. The ball slips out the back, easy as you like. It's Brett Kennedy who gets on the end of it and thumps it through for yet another Nightcliff goal. So again, that one that just got over the pack, and it was the Nightcliff forward who was first onto it and slammed it through from just a few metres out. See it on the replay here, just gets out the back, and some good shepherding from Eilert there gave him a clear path, and Kennedy once again banged it through.
Yeah, it's a shame. They're working hard. They've tried a few different things here, Wanderers, but Sam Davidson just probably bit off a little bit too much there and tried to take on the tackler. But they've just got to keep trying to pull the trigger.
So again, Locke gives them first use out of the middle as Zeus goes long straight down the middle of the ground, off hands. The ball slips into the goal square, but Motlop tidies up and kicks out here and finds Arbin. Good kick from Matthew Motlop, and Arbin chips out wide and finds Marshall. Marshall back inboard to Fuller. Fuller across the ground to Marlon Motlop. Motlop has a running player out wide and finds McMurray in some space. McMurray chips forward to Matthew Motlop. So chipping the ball around, but they've got it worked it to the centre of the ground where Marlon Motlop tries a pass here to Davidson. Under pressure, it slips out the back. Zeus tidies up and has Cameron Eilert standing out there. Doesn't realise that there's a player closing on him, but manages to get the kick anyway, and the hand pass comes to Politis. Politis long down towards the goal square, and Mummery just got a few metres on his opponent, and that was enough as the pass from Politis was good, and Mummery takes the mark only 20 metres or so out from goal on something of an angle, but shouldn't be too much of a problem for him. So Mummery looking to score Nightcliff's third goal of the quarter. Kick on the way, looks good, he likes it, and it's straight through the middle. So Nightcliff marching on in this second quarter, got their 10th goal on the board already, and it's been a dominant performance that in the first quarter and continuing on in the second, as Wanderers just haven't been able to hit the scoreboard.
Yeah, that's pretty much the story of the first quarter, that one too. They did exactly the same thing. They overused the footy coming out, so they were chipping sideways, and when they do decide to go forward, because they've been chipping the ball sideways so much, they haven't got the personnel forward to kick to, so Nightcliff just let them have that kick, and they did it then again, and they turned the footy over and bang, and they just slingshot forward. So we would have seen that at least half a dozen times tonight already out of their 10 goals. So back into the middle we go.
And Locke wins a hit out. Politis at ground level shovels the ball out, and a good hand pass across the top there from Tardrew, and the kick goes into the goal square out the back. Mummery again, one-handed, scoops it up, gets it onto the foot, kicks it over his shoulder, and as quickly and easily as you like, they've got another goal on the board. That was a quality finish from Michael Mummery down there. Just scooped it up with the one hand, threw it on the boot, and threw for his second goal in a minute.
Yes, can't wait to see the replay of that one. That was that's elite skills, that right there. To have a look at it straight out of the middle of the ground. Just want the footy more at the contest there, don't they?
Yeah. So the kick in by the big fella Locke, and just worked his opponent out of the way. Have a look at this. Scooped it up one hand and onto the boot. We're underway again here as in the middle of the ground. Big Lock again. Sweeps in, gets a hand pass over the top to Scott. Scott, his looping hand pass missed Eilert, but Eilert's good enough to work his opponent away from the ball. Scott comes in to lend assistance again. At ground level, Wanderers just trying to get it out of the bottom of the pack, but Scott comes in and scoops it forward. Now ball spills out to the wing and dribbles over the boundary line, and a boundary throw in.
Obviously the ruckman's working pretty hard. We had the first game of last week that come from Banks, didn't we? That Wale Roberts?
Liam Wale Buxton.
Yeah,
so he's missing tonight. He dominated in the ruck work, but they've got some pretty good assistance in Lock and overall doing the work, and now Emery helping as well. Got a hand pass out to Scott. He's got a runner in Randall out in some space at half forward. Saw Mummery on the lead, but chose to go over the top himself and threw for a behind.
Yeah, so they must be fairly blessed with some pretty talented ruckmen, because Lock's been dominant tonight, and obviously Buxton was pretty good last week in a losing side. So, as we say, the big men don't grow on trees, and when you've got a good set of them like Nightcliff seem to have, you're pretty lucky.
Yeah, especially in this competition, not one where that's dominated by big ruckmen, that's for sure. So there's a free kick out here for Mitch Taylor, and he just chips inboard to Jesse Marshall. Marshall goes out, and Wanderers trying to work it back into the middle now as the mark's taken by Cabillo. He plays on quickly over the top to Davidson. Davidson drives out to Domick, and Domick has a running player. It's Davidson again. He's done well to run down and get in some space in between a couple of Nightcliff players and takes that mark, and he's looking to go back for the set shot here.
He's been working extremely hard, this guy. He's trying to break those lines, and he's just got to pull a few of his mates with him. See if they'll come along for the ride, because he's working himself into the ground, this bloke. So well deserved if he gets this.
So taking plenty of time over it, tries to get a few more metres, but that one's just wobbled off the side of the boot, unfortunately for Wanderers, as Dams gets the hand pass through, and Nightcliff run it out of defence. Politis just spilt the mark there, got back onto it, and a third effort again. He's done really well there. Now gets the ball spills out. Dams gets the hand pass out, and Nightcliff trying to run it forward. Bailey Edwards gives and receives, but this kick's not his best effort, and that's gone out of bounds on the full as he tried to get it down to half forward.
Politis' second, third, fourth efforts there, just
fantastic.
You know, that's just goes to show why the scoreboard is what it is. He's just, they're all having a red hot crack, and you know, you got blokes like, you know, Eilert and these guys that play footy like that, and they just love it. They love the contest.
So again, Wanderers chipping around in the back half. Ankin Lewis goes across the ground to East. Jackson East calling for runners to run at him, but he's going to have to go longer out wide, and Arben runs onto that one. Hand passes back to go forward. Motlop has his kick smothered, but McMurray comes in and tidies up, gets it back to Marlon Motlop, and he swings around, finds himself some space, then delivers forward on the bounce, and ball inside to the 50. Just Jerome Motlop couldn't handle it, but now it comes across Dre Thompson. Hand passes over the top, and this should be a walk-in goal to Wanderers. It is, and a badly needed one, as Preston Patrick got on the end of that, and Preston Patrick playing in his first senior game for Wanderers, was a Wanderers junior, went away for a while, and he's back playing his first game and gets a goal. So good on you, Preston, but Wanderers obviously need a fair bit more, but some clever work there as Davidson again was involved, got the hand pass across to Thompson, and Davidson's been their hardest worker tonight, as you were saying earlier, Dave.
Yeah, that's pretty similar to their first goal, really, isn't it? In the first quarter, that one over the top, because they just can't find a target up forward, and the Nightcliff defence are so disciplined. They're in the right spots and they're spoiling everything. So I think they're just going to have to work the ball forward as best they can, Wanderers.
There's a free kick been found here, called by umpire off the ball, and that's Jackson East. He drills the pass up. Davidson again out on the lead, but got pushed under it as it bounced off his chest, and Thompson at ground level working hard. Reaching in there was Downs again. He gets wrapped up in the tackle, and it'll be a ball up at half forward for Nightcliff. 15.5 minutes into the second quarter, and Nightcliff came out with the blows with the first 4 goals, and Wanderers trying to claw back as Clee gets a kick inside forward 50, but again Nightcliff working hard to get back in defence, and Mitch Norton takes that mark. Switches across to Morris. Morris by hand over to Zach Moody, and they've worked it nicely to the outer side of the ground and got players in some space out there, as Kennedy just slows things up a bit as he looks for an option forward, goes long to a one-on-one contest, as Tardru got the hand pass back to Mummery. Mummery over the top finds Scott at half forward. Scott looking to move the ball quickly, but chips short instead to Brett Kennedy, who ran down after he had the mark at half back, ran down to receive inside forward 50. He's got the player spare in the corridor, and again Wanderers just a bit tardy on their manning up defensively, and Cody Zust has just floated into a space at centre half forward and takes the mark.
There's all the players in that play there that are doing all the damage, not including Philo, but Kennedy, Zust. I've got those names written down in front of me because they're just getting a power of the footy, and they just need to be manned up, basically. Someone's just got to try to stop them.
So Zust kicks towards goal, and I think he's just snuck that inside that goal post. He has. So another goal for Zust. That's his 3rd for the night, and another for Nightcliff, their 5th of the quarter, and it's that scoreboard's looking really untidy for Wanderers, as the margin stretches out to 10 goals now in the second quarter.
He's got a bit of Josh Kennedy about him going in for goal there, hasn't he, from West Coast Eagles? That little stutter. He's done that a couple of times tonight, but I think he's 2 from 2, so we'll let him have it.
That's it, 3 actually.
3?
So, yeah.
3 from 3, so... Yeah. He's dangerous. So's Kennedy with his elite kicking ability. So, they're a class act tonight.
Lock again, first hands to the ball, but this time Wanderers with the clearance. Dre Thompson just gets a toe to it and now follows up, picks up. He's got Nightcliff players all around, but manages to swing the ball forward. Ball gets over the back. Fijo got his hand to it, couldn't control it, but falls into Philo's lap. He hands it back to Brown. Well, Brown, a bit of a stuttering kick across the ground, but fortunately they're able to get out. But Brown's hand pass this time finds Clee. He tries to swing a hand pass over the top. That was never going to work, and it allows Norton to take possession and clear it out of defence. Marlon Motlop comes in. He's dispossessed of the ball as it comes out to Scott. Scott chips the ball inboard, and great mark running back with the flight of the ball taken by Lockie Tardry there. Tardry has players out wide. One of those is Zust again, who's just drifted out into space, and now that's not his best effort going in, and that'll go out of bounds in front of Cameron Eilert, in front of the Michael Long Centre. So yeah, they just had plenty of options again going forward, and I suppose when you're on a roll and the ball's bouncing your way, you find some space. It's easier to run to receive than to man up, I guess. But at ground level, Emery gets the hand pass looking for Zeus, but this time it spills free, and McMurray gets a clearing kick away for Wanderers. A loose ball just forward of the wing here as Big Overall gets a hand passed over the top. Philo had an air shot, and now the ball spills into the hands of Paris, who kicks long towards goal, but didn't quite have enough on it as Matthew Motlop got back and got a hand to it and conceded the behind. He chips short to Marlon Motlop, who goes back to Matthew Motlop in the goal square, and now he's got a bit of space to run. He goes straight up the centre of the ground and finds Clee. Hand passes off to Motlop, who kept running, and he goes wide to the outer side of the ground, running back with it. Ankin Lewis couldn't control the ball, and some good work at ground level by Dams, who wins it back and gives it to Morris, who chips out wide, and Nightcliff really in control as the chip pass comes into Philo, who's found some space. He goes long, and a great pass inside forward 50, and once again it's Zeus who chooses to play on this time. Kicking set shots is too easy for him, so he put himself under a bit of pressure and went for a snapshot instead and put that one through as well. So that's his 3rd goal for the quarter.
So that was Cooper Dames on a kind of 2-on-1 out there, just clever, just outsmarted his opponent, and then obviously get the ball into this guy's hand on the replay here, the 23. We've called him a lot tonight, Philo, and that is an elite kick right there, ladies and gentlemen, on the replay. Bang, that's what you call lace out, and as you said, he just wanted to try something different here, Zeus. He must have heard me talking about his stutter, so he decided to kick it around the corner, Stu.
4 goals to Zeus on debut. Be pretty happy with that before half-time. And it's not just his goals. He's been in the action for the whole night. So
this guy's doing well too in the ruck.
So the hand pass up from Tardru, gets it to Moody. Moody drills the ball forward. Philo on the end of that couldn't quite take the mark, but coming in was East for Wanderers. He kicks the ball long down the line, but that one's punched away by Jonathan Peris.
It's all the little things there, Stu, as well, that they're doing correctly. You know, that punch from behind, he's not doing anything out of the ordinary, nothing special, just what you're meant to do. Punch when you're behind. You know, they're doing everything. They're doing a lot of things right. Nightcliff out here tonight.
So over in the ruck, the ball spills out here. It's hacked off the ground by Jerome Motlop, but straight into the hands of Brett Kennedy. who's had the ball on the string as well. This time he kicks into the player on the mark as it is wrapped up in the tackle was Jesse Marshall, and it'll be a ball up in the centre of the ground, grandstand side. Oval gets his hand to the ball, and hand pass over the top from Tardri, but it spills out now, and Wanderers the chance as the hand pass comes across Arbin, just thumps the ball out into some space, and it'll come back to him as he just fishes it out to Fijo. Fijo with the long hand pass over the top to Patrick. Patrick fumbled on the first attempt, but gathered eventually, got the hand pass backwards. Davidson had it punched away from him. The hand pass back from Domick missed the target. Mummery's work back there, clear at ground level, and now Edwards. Ball slipped out of his hands as he was tackled. Play on was the call as the hand pass comes over the top. Politis swings the hand pass out to Eilert. Eilert chips the ball inboard, and he finds Randall, who gives it back, and the kick goes inside forward 50. Philo at ground level tries to fish it out to Moody. Moody running into some space, but his hand pass was chopped off. Fuller lumbers in and gets the hand pass out wide there to Matthew Motlop, and Motlop delivers out wide to Arbin for Wanderers. Runs off and delivers to Davidson, who's worked up from half forward, and gives back to Arbin, who kept running, and now a pass here to Patrick. Preston Patrick has a runner in some space out wide. It's a good pass, and finds Domick. Domick on the run, kicks towards goal, but he's just pulled that across, and it's through for a behind.
Good use of the footy there by the Patrick there.
Yeah.
He's, did you say first gamer? So
yep.
That's positive ball movement. Kicked it to the lead. So let's see if Nightcliff can pick their way through this.
So Brown up to Morris. Morris goes back to Brown, and clock ticking towards 25 minutes there. Oh, that's the second one that Brown's almost missed the boot with. I don't know what's going on there, but this gives Wanderers the chance. Davidson picks up, gets a hand pass over the top. White got one over the shoulder, I think, and that's the way it's been paid. But Nathan Brown, it's almost like he's kicking in boots that are 3 sizes too big for him. He's had a couple of shockers.
Well, it might have been Mick McGuan, maybe.
Yeah, I remember that too. As that's a good finish from White on a sharp angle out there. So they've made him pay on this occasion with the turnover, and so another goal on the board to Wanderers, and get that margin back to 10 goals once again.
Yes, it feels, just got to try and get the ball in here. As we're looking at the replay here, it's certainly a high tackle over the top of his head. So, but that's a tough kick, that one. I suppose a lot of people practice them nowadays, but still got to go back and put them away. So he's done that, and we're looking at nearly 26-minute mark. So 13-4-82 for Nightcliff to 3-4-22. So it's a 10-goal ball game, and it's sneaking right up very close to half time.
Overall, thumps the ball forward out of the ruck contest. Coming in off the wing there was Marshall, did really well, but his hand pass was smothered, and now Cullinan gets swamped. When he picked up the ball, it spills out to Randall, and the long kick inside forward 50 for Nightcliff. Over the back at ground level, Cooper Downs again involved, but he gets wrapped up down there with a couple of Wanderers defenders, and there'll be a ball up. So from the ball up, Cullinan kicks it into the back of a teammate. It spills out to Moody, who tries to break through the pack. Ball spilled out, and again it's wrapped up in tight, and it'll be a ball up once again. Emery and Cullinan. Emery gets a double fister backwards, and good use of the ball once again, and a chance for Edwards, who takes the mark as the siren goes, and Bailey Edwards will go back And of the set shot, he'll be kicking from just inside 50. But another dominant quarter from Nightcliff. Wanderers got a couple of goals later in the quarter, but Nightcliff so far 6 goals for the quarter, and Edwards coming in now with an attempt to make that the 7th. The kick looks pretty good, but it's just going to fade across and through for a behind. So that's the end of the second quarter, Dave, and really the story of the night is Nightcliff have continued their dominance in the second quarter.
Yeah, for sure. We're looking at the stats from the previous games. You know, they're tied the second highest for disposal efficiency in the league coming into this round, and I think you'll find that by the end of it they'll be number 1, because it's not just their small kicks, it's their long kicking that's very, very, very efficient. They're hitting a lot of targets, and Wanderers are basically unable to do it. Out of the middle, they're dominating all our facets of the game, but you know, it's a simple fact that they're on ballers, and there's a big long list of them that are getting too much of the footy and getting clean possession. So that's the story of the first half. So we're going to take a short break for half time, and we will return to TIO round 3 action very soon.
Just reaching over the top was Buxton, and a tackle at ground level sees a free kick to Pint and an opportunity for the first score of the game from a set shot. So Jones, deliberate shot at goal. Kick looks pretty good. He likes it. Goal umpire likes it, and it's Pint with the first score on the board. It was McDonald who read it on the bounce. Now it comes out to Stephen Motlop. He goes long inside 450. Beautiful pass, and out on the lead, out in front was Matt Ryan, the captain. Comes in and kicks on the way. Is that swinging back enough? Here, they like it on the sideline. Here it is. And goal umpire signals that's through for a goal. So Aston and goes to the advantage of Peris. He sweeps the hand pass inboard. Or Moody just couldn't control it, but paddled it along in front of himself now. Picks up, kicks along towards the goal square once again. 2-on-1 in the goal square. Quickly onto the boot. That's a clever goal by Kennedy down there. He was 1-on-2 against his opponent. Allowed to play on as it's picked up at ground level by Ryan. His hand pass just missed Motlop, but he recovered well and chips inboard and finds his teammate Sam Coldfield once again. He hands off, and the long kick at goal. It looks good. They like it. Who was that from behind? Warwick Williams, it might have been. Or, yeah, it was, I think. So down towards the half-forward line as Edwards runs onto that one, but again can't hit the target. Slips through the hands of Kennedy down there, but now the ball's all the way down to the goal square, following it through, and that's a goal. I didn't see who kicked that one, Dave, but interesting goal out of nothing really for Nightcliff. Really conditions for footy are pretty good at the moment as Nightcliff burst away this time, and again Islet at ground level looks like has cocked one a bit high in that contest, and so Islet close to the player on the mark, just swings out to the right, kicks long towards goal. He's certainly got the distance in him. That's a great finish, and a good answering goal by Nightcliff. Nightcliff working it through the hands, but again, some strong work off the ball, and play on's the call at ground level. Here's a chance for Holt Fitz on the left. He swings it back into the corridor, finds the target, snapshot for a goal from about 10 metres out, and it's another Pint goal, and you would think that's just about the sealer. It was Yusuf, I think, long down the middle of the ground, working it through the hands. They get it out wide to Wines, who has got a player at Islet in all sorts of space out here, and he's got one over the top, but backs himself, and after a bounce had a shot at goal. So
last year they need to kill every contest, so they're not doing it very well though. Oh, there we go. they didn't have to in the end. So there's the final siren here at the Darwin Mazda Oval here in Nightcliff.
Halfback, Districts outside defensive 50. They got the run of the ball. They have. Running hard. Inside, shot on goal. First score of the game. 5 minutes in.
Dylan Barry
Gets it into the middle. The Bombers are away again. Finds space, up forward. The kick on goal. Runs 2 bounces, runs 3 bounces. Sells the dummy. Will go onto the left foot after 3 bounces and nails it. Well done, Thaddeus Port Jimmy. Goal of the year so far. Terrific effort. Southern Districts.
Very good in his first year with the Crocodiles.
Matthew Dennis still hasn't had a kick.
There's a lovely snap. Don't get the goal.
Was a goal. It was a lovely goal. Barry runs around, straightens up, kicks on goal, kicks across the face of goal. No mark down there, running into an open goal. And Southern Districts, at the fall of the ball, they get the goal. Handball. Away we go. Sold the dummy. Kicks around. Has it got the legs? No, it quite. Yes, it has. Goal.
Number 11.
Dale Cunningham. There's a goal kicking name for you. Had plenty of time. It was Anderson. Got the ball out by hand and kick on goal.
Looks like he's got a sausage roll there.
Yep. Ball in dispute. Chip. Chip to advantage. Watch who it is, Gray. Kicks on goal and nails it.
And it's a skipper, Brendan Cantilla.
Well done to him. It's strong and it's holding up.
He's hurt himself. I thought
running into an open goal. And just casually, just as casual as you like, Roy George becomes the first multiple goal scorer. 16 points in advantage. Matthew Dennis in front. Over the back, Cantilla knocks it forward. The Bombers still can't find the handle. Kicked off the ground cleverly by Rioli. Well done. They deserved that. Well done to the Bombers. And they creep ever closer within 10 points. Dan Anderson tracking the football. Taps it to his own advantage and taps it to his own advantage again. Well done, Jed Anderson. Taps it twice to his own advantage. Runs down, bends down, picks it up, kicks a goal. That is classic football, Jed Anderson. Cunningham has kicked a goal. Over the back, spins around, gets the ball out by hand, should go by hand again, kicks the goal.
I reckon that's Brendan Cantilla.
Shot on goal. Up they fly. Stayed down and another goal. 3 goals they've got to get to nothing. Bombers, 1 bounce. Right forward pocket. Kicked on goal. Pick up the player, Gray. Number 11.
Yeah, the big fellow there. He'll turn his back.
Fortunately, there's a kick on goal.
A late kick by Bo Schwartz. Bo Schwartz it was. And he's only kicked a point. So they won by 11 points. 12-9-81 to 10-10-70.
Great kick right through the centre. They're on here, Waratah. They've got a one-on-one there. 20 metres out the front of goals and an easy mark for Darcy Hobart. Should be an easy kick directly in front of goal from about 40 metres out. It is pretty windy out there, though, today, but it is a goal for Waratah. There's no one near him. Looking for Nate Paredes. Paredes took a mark, and he can play on here and just run into goal. Beautiful kick. Finds a teammate and managed to kick another goal, St Mary's. And Waratah with numbers once again. What a kick.
They worked that well, they did. They pushed it out wide.
So Magro runs in. Beautiful looking kick, and the umpire did not even move. Jaden Magro with 3 goals for the Tars. It's up Parker Fawcett. Gets it inside 50 now, looking for Coro again. It's gone across the back. Nate Paredes is all on his own here. He's got time, and he's got a player in the goal square, and what a goal! What a goal by Nate Paredes. A soccer-style goal there for Nate Paredes, a second goal kick. Looking for Nate Paredes. Those two have combined exceptionally well today. Paredes with the long kick in. It'll be downfield. Arnold Kirby has dropped Paredes after he's taken his kick. Bo Tedcastle plays on quickly and scores a goal for St Mary's, and getting it deep into his team's 50, but some good defence by Robinson. Hits the deck though, and Waratah, what a goal. What a goal. I think it was Kirtley Silva, side 50. Jaden Magro flies for the ball, but it goes over the top. Fawcett picks it up. Here he is. Mankara runs in for an easy goal for Waratah. Another goal for the Tars in the third quarter. And Paredes somehow bustles his opposition player out, gets a kick in to Dylan Lant. Saints have got Corowa all on his own in the goal square, and he's going to kick his second goal in 2 minutes. Couple of goals already today, 3 goals. Bo Tedcastle just picks it up one-handed, steadies, has a shot on goal, and gets St Mary's off to the start that they wanted in this final quarter. He's forward 50. Kirby gets the hit away. Jack Lant again, he's trying to bustle through everywhere. A handball backwards to his brother Dylan Lant, and that's a goal for St Mary's. The Lant brothers combining for another goal for St Mary's. Paredes runs, he's got the short kick there to Dominic Grant on the 50. Gives it off to Dylan Lant. Shot on goal. St Mary's have hit the lead for the first time all game at the 17-minute mark of the final quarter. Goal to Dylan Lant.
That's Dylan Lant's 4th goal of the game.
There by Robinson from St Mary's, forces the ball to the ground as players fling their bodies. Hutt with the handball, Cassidy with the kick. It's going to go through for goal, and the lead has changed back to Waratah. Can you believe it? A player held without it there by Collis. No free kick, and Fawcett cuts it off. Looking for Bo Tedcastle. He's on his own in the goal square, and he's kicked the goal, and he's kicked it out of the stadium. Bo Tedcastle has put St Mary's back in the lead at the 19.5-minute mark of this final quarter. I don't like this. They need to go down the ground and get it far away.
What a win.
St Mary's have come from behind in the final quarter to defeat Waratah by 3 points.
Pick up there by Burgoyne. His first touch, Buffs colours, gets it back and have a ping at the goals. Doesn't have enough on it. Was touched as well. Here the umpire saying play on, and picked up in the goal square, and a good goal there by...
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to round 3 action here from TIO Stadium in Larrakia country here in beautiful Darwin. Nice night for football. We've got a contest here between Nightcliff and Wanderers. It's a bit one-sided at the moment, 13-5-83 to Wanderers 3-4-22. I'm Dave Kennedy, and I'm here with me tonight is Stu Davies. Welcome back, Stu.
Thanks, Dave. Game underway. Nightcliff going forward again. Zust pouncing on that, gets a hand pass across to Tardri, running hard. He gave it over to Darms, gets it out wide to Scott. Scott swings around as he has his jumper pulled, gets the kick forward, and bit of a interference off the ball there as Emery took the mark, but the free kick's been paid to Jesse Marshall, who hasn't been the worst of Wanderers players tonight as he kicks wide. That's not his best effort though, as Overall comes in and chops it off, but loses it out the back now. But back in there again, swings the hand pass to Philo. Philo quick as a flash out to Scott. Scott has a player on the lead, thumped away by Mitch Taylor, and back further than the kick came from. So in there again was Scott, been busy around the ball from out on his wing, and now the hand pass comes out wide. A dribble kick forward, gets through a couple of players. Coming across hard was McMurray, and he receives from Clee on the hand pass, and he gives it out to Motlop, but Nathan Brown coming in thumps it over the boundary line on the outer side of the ground. Yeah, it's been disappointing as a contest so far tonight. We came in with some expectation of a close match. Wanderers' form had been pretty good in the first couple of rounds, but Nightcliff have really stepped it up a gear tonight so far. As Dams again got the hand pass, but it's scrambled over the line again.
You're right about stepping it up a gear, like we spoke at half time about, disposal efficiency, which wasn't great last week, and they've obviously worked on it during the week and talked about it as a group, and I'm sure their coach is very happy with the way things are panning out tonight. So Wanderers looking to clear, but that was about a 10-metre kick from McMurray, and it's gone astray, running onto it down here. A good tackle from behind, and will be rewarded, and that was Nathan Arben, and he's looking to switch out wide, but he's given that a bit of air time and allowed the defence to come in, but they've tidied it up anyway, and now Domick chips the ball back inboard to Arben once again. Arben looking to switch to the grandstand side, but not much to go to. He runs his full measure and now kicks out wide, but Nightcliff had set up too well behind the ball, and Sam Overall's had it on a string tonight, gets it forward to Cameron Eilert. Hasn't got a lot to go to. A couple of players on the lead, decides to go long to the one-on-one just out from the goal square, but it was well read. The free kick's been paid for a push down here against Motlop, and it's going to go to Kennedy. Motlop had worked him under the ball, but umpire Abby Stein said it was illegally done, and Brett Kennedy, the recipient of the free kick, and he'll be kicking from about 20 metres. Lovely kick of the football, this bloke.
No problem at all, straight through the middle, so umpire Shannon Jackson says that's a goal, and Nightcliff are first on the board again in this third quarter.
The Wanderers pleading their case there that that was a pure one-on-one contest, so we've got the beauty of a replay here, so let's have a look and let you people at home make up your own mind.
Yeah, almost in the side, wasn't it? You see plenty of them just let go, but no, unfortunately for Wanderers, the decision went against them, and I don't think it's going to affect the outcome of the game, Dave.
It was a long delivery of the footy into just pure one-on-one contest. We haven't seen a lot of that tonight, but
no.
It sometimes pays off.
So Locke follows up and gets it across to Politis and out to Kennedy again. He switches across. Philo's in some space out here. There's three of them, in fact. Philo runs onto it now, gets the kick away just before Thompson closes on him, and it's a good pass to Edwards between wing and half forward. Edwards wastes no time, kicks long inside forward 50. Emery uses his body, gets the advantage position but couldn't get to the ball in the end, as it's picked up down here by Marshall, and he delivers well into the centre corridor and finds Cullen, and Cullen plays on now and kicks long down towards full half forward, and a nice mark taken out, hands out in front by Aidan Domick. He hand passes over the top, and Motlop drills the pass looking for Thompson, comes back to Marlon Motlop now running inside 50, has a chance to score for Wanderers, and he does, bangs it straight through the middle, and that was a better passage of play, a bit more intent, and Marlon Motlop finished nicely.
Yeah, very nicely done. Starts in defence. I think Taylor, I think he's their captain. Yep. You know, he's been under a lot of pressure all night, and it'd be great to see his on ballers giving him a bit more of a helm by putting a bit of pressure on the ball carriers from Nightcliff. But that's probably the most promising bit of play there. You know, even though they sort of messed that little kick up there, but he followed up beautifully there.
It was great hands by Thompson, wasn't it? At half volley at ground level, and just a subtle little left-handed hand pass. And Motlop had kept running and had space to steady and kick the goal. So Locke again wins the hit out, taps it forward, but at ground level King gets a hand pass over the top, but it's Scott again who's been really busy on his wing and delivers nicely to Philo. Philo swings around on the left and drills a pass looking for Cameron Oller. On the bounce it hits him, but it slips out of his hands as the traffic came in, and there's a free kick been found as Clee got the kick away. It's going to go to Mitch Taylor for high contact, and so the ball will be relayed back to him for Wanderers to just settle out of defence. He's got a short out wide here. If he wants it, he goes that way to Marshall. And
he's the only free man on the oval then, Marshall. Like Nightcliff had set up pretty well, so the result of that is that they've got to kick to a contest on their next kick, and that's what they did, and Nightcliff were able to spoil it over the line here on the grandstand side, Stu. It's pretty disciplined stuff from Nightcliff. Yeah,
that's right. Jay Moody there, just hard at it. No thought of going for the intercept mark, just thumped it over the line, got the stoppage and the reset, and they've been dominating the ruck contests, of course, and so it was White that got caught with the ball that time. Jerome Motlop hacks a kick forward, but the big fella at half back just got pushed over the line there. Mitch Norton, he's had a pretty good game tonight, and just an honest, solid defender, I think, Dave.
Seems to be always in the right spot.
Yep.
Stu, that's what we sort of speak about. Like, he's just doesn't look like a pure athlete, but he'll probably get on the end of something quite here as well, nearly. So he spoils that one.
Disciplined again. Oh, it's just got slung off without the ball, but play on's a call as Politis toe pokes it forward, and now Peris tries to hand pass. He has that hand pass chopped off. It's tapped along at ground level, but again, there's a whistle on the play. A holding free kick. It's going to go Wanderers' way, and it's Jerome Motlop who will take that free kick. He chips wide here to Matthew Motlop. He's taken a step forward, but he's allowed to go back over the mark. As Marlon's hanging around the back, he receives eventually Marlon Motlop and kicks long towards full forward. Big leap from behind, but the ball slips over the back goal. I think big fella Domick had no awareness of where the goal was then, and dragged it straight across. But there's a whistle on the play here, and it's a free kick again in the forward pocket, and a 50-metre penalty, I think. Looks like the umpire's gone straight to the goal line, so
I hope the umpire knows what's going on, because nobody else in the stadium does, Stu. So yeah, not sure what that one was for.
Well, Daniel Clee's pretty happy with it, because he's got a shot for a goal from 2 metres out, and no problem at all, pops that through. So Wanderers have kicked 2 goals in a row for the first time in the game, and are winning the quarter at this stage with 2 goals to 1 so far. So yeah, not really sure what that was all about, but Wanderers will take that one any day of the week, especially with the scoreboard as it stands right now.
promising signs there. Look, they're just trying to wheel the ball forward. They're refusing to go long because Nightcliff are going to pick them off. So, you know, the possessions they're getting are still only small kicks, but they're just trying to pick their way through a bit better.
So Locke flicks it back, but it's King who gets on the end of it, gets a kick forward under pressure. It falls into the hands of Arbin here. He chips back inboard looking for Cullen, and on the bounce he tries a dinky little left foot kick out wide, didn't go far enough, and now Jerome Motlop at ground level swings the ball round towards the goal line. It's bouncing, but bounces across, and goal umpire Jenny Rowe signals are behind, and Nathan Brown will bring the ball back in. It's a better kick from Brown as he finds Philo just out from the goal square. Philo goes back to Brown across the face of goal, and now by hand back to Philo. Kept running and now kicks long around the wing. It gets out the back, and Moody's going to be first there for Nightcliff. Hand passes back inboard to his brother, but missed him. Dre Thompson at ground level got tackled and got the hand pass out, but not quick enough according to the officials, and the free kick was paid, and Nightcliff go forward again. Islet hit pretty solidly in the marking contest, but there's a free kick been found here at ground level, and yeah, just a bit overzealous, and it'll be Emery to take the free kick in the forward pocket.
Yeah, the replay shows a clear over-the-shoulder free kick there. So it's a tough shot, this one, but we'll see how he's landed around, but not quite enough.
The face, and at ground level, it's run out of defence by Matthew Motlop. He has a couple of bouncers running around the outer side of the ground. Covers the ball now, kicks down looking for Arbin. Over the back, Arbin controls it pretty well. He's got a free in the centre of the ground, but will it get to him? It does. The kick was pretty good, and the mark was taken by Lewis. He plays on now on the left. That's not his best kick forward, and Nightcliff will tidy this one up pretty easily, but again, another late contact and free kick downfield. Cameron Islet tries to take the advantage, but he's not going to be allowed to, as the ball comes back to him. He's chips inboard to Philo, who's got a free in the middle, and that's the big fella Locke who takes the mark. He's got him queuing up on the outside, on the outer side of the ground. Gets it out to Edwards, who spilt the mark but had time to recover with the hand pass up, and a drill pass in just too short there, and Wanderers behind the ball get it to Fuller. Fuller chips it out looking for Fijo. The ball bounces past him. It's picked up out there by Arbin, who hand passes back to Fijo. Now Fijo goes wide, but just can't quite hit the target, and Mitch Norton on the spot again just to see it over the boundary line for another stoppage.
It's Big Norton again. He's in the right spots at the right time. So yeah, the game is I mean, you know, at least the Wanderers are coming out and they're really having a dip in this second half, Stu.
Yeah, that's right. As Locke wins that hit out, and at ground level it gets over to McMurray. McMurray floats a kick in, slips through the hands of Brown Marlon. Motlop at ground level tries to get it out to Fijo, comes back to Motlop. He hands it out wide, Totham with a short kick, and that's a good one, and finds Domick in the right forward pocket, and Aidan Domick will go back and have a set shot from goal. I reckon it's about the exact spot that Michael Mummery had a set shot in the previous quarter and scored from. So this for 3 in a row for Wanderers, as Domick comes in, kicks on the way. I think he's dragged that across the face and through for a behind only.
They're just looking a bit busier around the contested footy, Wanderers. They were flat-footed in the first half, but they just seem to be wanting to peel a bit more around those stoppages. So this is where they get hurt, though. The elite ball use from Nightcliff.
Yeah, that was a good kick from Brown to Moody, and inboard to Tardru, who hooked the hand pass over the top. They're just messing around with it a bit now as it slips out the back. Overall at ground level, got hit by a couple of players, and eventually it comes forward through the hands, and big lock on the left foot, thumps it into the goal square. It slips through the hands, unfortunately for Nightcliff of Mummery, and through for a behind as Fuller brings the ball in, and Wanderers trying to run it out of defence. Marshall goes short to Marlon Motlop. He's got a spare player out wide, ignores that, goes up the corridor instead, and finds Clee. Clee hands back to Marlon Motlop, who goes long to the outer side. Nice mark taken by Jackson East, and East looking to get it over the top as Domick has run forward. It runs into his path. If he can keep it in, he does now, but just got pushed as he kicked that ball and affected the kick, and it went out of bounds on the full. So good defensive pressure once again from Nathan Brown of Nightcliff. He kicks short, and he's got a ton of room there. Zach Moody had about 20 metres all around him. He goes short to Emery at half-back. Emery looking to switch to the grandstand side of the ground, but that's going straight to his opponent, Joel Cabillo. Cabillo looks to chip forward, but well read by Cooper Darms back there, working back and taking the intercept mark. He chips short to Tardru. He tried to play on, but got caught, and got the hand pass off to Darmso, and he gets the 1-2, gets it off to Peris now. Peris with a high ball. It's a one-on-one contest out here from the goal square, but working back to help now is Scott. He hooks the ball over his shoulder, and that's a pretty good finish in the end. Aidan Scott, he's been busy on the wing, Adrian Scott, and he's been busy on the wing, but it just looked like he's been pushed forward for a while in this quarter, and got himself on the scoreboard.
Yeah, just moved the ball quite smoothly through the corridor then. No big long kicks from Nightcliff, and obviously just put it forward there. It's nearly a mark to Philo, who's maybe put himself a full forward, and then typical small forwards goal right there. Nice snap. Yeah, pretty standard goal from Nightcliff. They've done that a few times tonight. Just that, push the ball forward and get front and centre, and they're doing it really well. Not taken away from Wanderers. They've come out swinging in this second half.
Marlon Motlop with the clearance, goes out towards the outer side of the ground mark, almost taken by East, but just spilled out. Now at ground level, it gets into East's hands, and he delivers beautifully down there to Davidson at half forward. Davidson chips out wide to Arbin, who ran forward. He's about 50 out, but right out near the boundary on the outer side of the ground. He's looking for options. I think he's just putting this one to the top of the goal square. It slips over the back's gone through everyone, but through for a behind. And Brown will bring it in again for Nightcliff.
As he cops one from the goal umpire's flag, a bit of a flyby from the goal umpire.
So they've worked the ball to the outer side of the ground. Rinaldi takes that mark and now chips back to Brown, and just trying to find a path out of defence here as Brown as a running player, but he's just overcooked that kick and it's been chopped off, and now a chance for Wanderers going inside 50, but Nightcliff is set up pretty well behind as the hand pass comes over to Morris. He kicked the ground then as he tried to deliver it forward, but he's back in the action again with the ball at ground level. It's caught in underneath him here as umpire swoops, but he's going to call the ball up.
But he was nearly going to pin him there. He sort of
got knocked in underneath a couple of times.
Yeah. So we're looking at the 15-minute mark of the third quarter here. It's 15-6-96 for Nightcliff to Wanderers 5-6-36. She's still a 10-goal game.
Well, Mitch Taylor diving attempt to mark, but couldn't do so. Tardru gets it to Eilert off to Zeus. Zeus kicks long towards goal. He's missed one. Missed it out to the right and through from behind. Daniel Fuller to bring the ball back in. He's got a player out wide and goes that way. Marley King receives. Look to play on him, but he's called to play on now and has to go back to Marshall. Marshall plays on quickly down the line, slips through the hands of Matthew Motlop there. Zeus with a long hand pass over the top, but put his teammate under plenty of pressure. Motlop comes in, picks up, and he's tackled and the ball spills out over the boundary line. And a throw in once again.
A good chance to have a look at Nightcliff's setup then. They really protect the space well when Wanderers are trying to pick their way out from their back line. So obviously, you know, that makes it really hard for Wanderers because they've got to be pinpoint accurate with their kicks.
So East with the hand pass to King, back to East, who fishes it out, and now Motlop down the line, but again, as you said, set up behind the play and just chopped off there by Roger Morris for Nightcliff. And he'll thump the ball back into Nightcliff's forward half. Zust in the contest just underran the ball, and hand pass comes out to Moody. Zach Moody with a long kick down to the goal square. Taylor works his way to the front but couldn't take the mark. I think he's dislocated a finger or something similar there. He's in a fair bit of pain just off the ball, and eventually the ball works out over the boundary line. Just see him trying to pull the finger out there, and he's in a world of hurt. Ball thrown in by the boundary umpire, gets over the top. Tardry takes it out of the ruck contest, but got wrapped up. That's kicked off the ground straight over the boundary line, and it'll be a throw in. It was the forward that kicked it. Had it been the defender, it would have been deliberate for sure.
What a crowded forward line there. It's a lot of players in that forward 50 for Nightcliff right there.
So again, it's a scramble of players as the ball comes out the back. Taylor tries to run off with it, slips through his hands, and there's a free kick been found. It's going Nightcliff's way this time. Free kick off the ball, and it'll come back to Randall, who will take the set shot. Up 35 out directly in front. Michael Randall yet to hit the scoreboard tonight, so comes in and kicks on the way, and I think he's just snuck that one in. He has. It's another goal to Nightcliff, and Randall's first. So the last couple of goals to Nightcliff, and put their noses in front for the quarter, but they're comfortably in front in the game, as you can see on the scoreboard on the screen. And a 67-point margin as we hit the 19-minute mark of this third quarter at TIO Stadium.
Yes, I actually didn't see what that free kick was for, so can't really give any information about that, but yeah, you know, Wanderers have put up a bit of a fight. It's just the polish of Nightcliff tonight that's it's been the highlight of this game.
Yeah, Philo, his intended target ran off the line, I think, and he missed him. Totham at ground level working hard, but the ball just goes out of his reach, and ball scrambling again. It eventually falls into Totham's hands. He gets a quick kick forward, and there's a free kick here going to Davidson. Arbin takes the advantage, kicks over the top, and finds Preston Patrick, who's probably in not much of a better position than Davidson would have been for the free kick, but Patrick, who has a goal on the board, has another opportunity now. Lincoln Lewis just drifting forward there, but Philo's got him covered pretty well, I think. So Patrick will take the set shot. Bit of a stutter in the run-up. Kicks towards goal now. Looks like it's just going to fall short, and Nightcliff defenders get their hands on it and force it through for a behind. So an even 11-goal margin now as Philo brings the ball in grandstand side and finds Randall. Randall chips the ball inboard to Zust. Zust has Mummery out wide on the wing here. That kick's not going to reach him, and it's chopped off by Cabillo. Cabillo chips inboard. Oh, that's a dangerous kick, and the siren goes as the play ends for the third quarter, and just 3-2 quarter, but Nightcliff marching on with an 11-goal lead at 3-quarter time, Dave.
Yeah, it's much the same, although, you know, I think Wanderers tried to change their movement forward a little bit. They try and get access to their goal face a little bit better, which they managed to do, but well, they did score some goals, but Nightcliff scored the other end way too easily as well. So once again, it's just the ball, the efficient use of the footy is what the story of the night is. So 3-quarter time here, and obviously we'll be back very soon after a short break.
Kazali's Palmerston Club. Come and check out our cafe, open 7 days a week. Our kids club is open Wednesday to Sunday nights, including weekend lunchtime. Enjoy hot meals with nightly specials at the bistro or cold drinks at the sports bar. Feeling lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge, or grab your mates for a round of pool. Family gatherings or casual meetings, we have something for everyone. Kazali's Palmerston Club, making a difference.
Territorians go a long way for one another. So it's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, if you have an accident covered by your policy, we are here to help with the reasonable costs of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling expenses. And that goes a long way when you're away.
Get a quote today.
TIO, we're for Territorians.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the AFL NT coverage of the 23-24 TIO NTFL season here from TIO Stadium here in Darwin, Larrakia country. 3/4 time here in the clash between Wanderers and Nightcliff, and the scoreboard on the screen tells the tale. I'm Dave Kennedy and Stu Davies. Welcome back.
So from that restart, it's Nightcliff from the back half of the centre square as Philo kicks out into space out in front here, and just running the ball over the boundary line. Happy to see it over was Ankin Lewis for Wanderers. Yeah, Nightcliff a dominant performance in this game so far, and can't help but be impressed by what they've shown tonight. They've the skills have been good, and finishing's been good. So yeah, they had a bit of a wake-up call last week, I think, but they've come out strongly this week as Daniel Fuller gets wrapped in the tackle.
Yeah, I think it's important to learn from your mistakes, and I think they've learnt quite well about what Pint did to them. Pint sat behind the footy on them last week, and they're not blazing at all. They're really using the ball extremely well tonight.
So Taylor gets the ball to the outer side of the ground. Marlon Motlop in a one-on-one contest out there with Moody. Moody runs out of space and the ball's over the boundary line. So yeah, the two Moody boys have been pretty impressive again tonight, Jay and Zach, and they've had good players all over the ground, of course, and Jackson Locke, the big fella in the ruck's probably been as good as any of them. Him and Overall have really dominated in the ruck contest. Marley King out by the wing, tries to break through, gets a hand pass across, and a quick kick comes in. It's thumped away back outside a defensive 50. Brown cleverly tapped it to the advantage of his teammate, and allows Nightcliff to get running with the ball as Kennedy swings the ball out to Emery in some space. He hand passes to the running Peris. That kick really didn't go to the advantage of Mummery down there, but Zeus gave it back to Mummery. A bit of candy sold there, and finishes beautifully. That's yeah, just almost pushed the ball into the face of his opponent and then dragged it back in and hooked over the shoulder. He's certainly got some skills, Michael Mummery, and it's a beautiful finish.
He's done that one-handed trick a couple of times tonight, Stu. Mummery, he likes it. I like that show on the footy as we see on the replay. Let's have a look at this, folks. Just showed his opponent the footy, and this is skill you cannot teach. Look at that. That's a double dummy.
Yeah.
So tremendous stuff.
Yeah, some special skills.
But in the game previous to this, when Tiwi took on Palmerston, there was a highlight package like that you could have shown for an hour.
Yeah, fantastic. As from the stoppage, it's Nightcliff bringing it away again. Moody gets the hands back into Politis. Politis goes long to centre half forward. Mitch Taylor thumps it away. Davidson takes possession, ducks under the tackle, and then gets pinged for a throw, and the ball come back to Nathan Brown, who's got Philo spare out grandstand side and hits him. Philo chips the ball forward now, and the ball through the hands of Twycross down there, but he gets it back, and then under pressure the ball slides off the side of the boot and out of bounds on the full. So Marshall it'll be to bring the ball back in for Wanderers. He drills the pass inboard to Jackson East. East runs off and kicks long. He's got to play in some space, but the Nightcliff defenders close as Peris gets a fist to the ball and Scott runs onto it. He looks to bring the ball back inboard and delivers nicely to Tardru. Tardru wastes no time and kicks inboard and finds Zeus inside the forward 50, about 40 metres out, and he's kicked 4 goals already tonight and goes back and will line up for his 5th. So his first game for Nightcliff, and it's been a pretty impressive performance.
Yes, it's probably the best on-ground performance tonight by this bloke. He's damaging going forward, isn't he, for an unballer? As he comes through, skipping in again.
His kick close to that right-hand goal post, but he snuck it inside. Big smile on the face, and gets the congratulations from his teammates, and so he's got his 5th on the board. A really good return as.
And he's not a stay-at-home forward at all. He's busy up the ground and does a lot of Ks. But once again, Wanderers were trying to come out of defence, and Nightcliff just protected the space. As we see in the replay, that's a good one-on-one mark, and then turn and spin and find a dangerous bloke like Zeus in front of goal like that. Great teamwork, and they're aware of one another, and they're aware of one another's strengths, this team. So once again, the Wanderers just cannot pick their way out of their backline.
Overall this time in the ruck, thumps it forward, but it's picked up at ground level by King. Loops the hand pass over to Patrick. He goes back to Motlop, who drills the pass to Davidson, who's kept working all night from half forward. He looking to switch inboard now, but again that's given plenty of air time. Or Taylor almost got a chop across the neck then, but play on's the call as Zeus gets a hand pass to Philo. Philo hand passes over the top, but Wanderers coming. Davidson again there. I thought about kicking off the ground, changed his mind and probably shouldn't have, as Nightcliff tidy up. The hand pass comes out here. Politis gets it forward, and the looping hand pass sees Emery taken out of the action. Politis takes advantage to Cameron Eilert, who on the second attempt takes the mark out in front now, chips the board inboard where they're queuing up, and Philo has followed up and gets himself on the end of it, and he'll have a set shot from 30 out. So Brodie Philo, 1 goal for tonight, and has had a heap of possession and used the ball well on just about every occasion.
Yeah, his efficiency kicking rate would be nearly 100% tonight, this guy. He's
yep.
And he looks like he's kicked that one too, so they just keep rolling on. Zeus kicked the last one, and Philo kicks the next one, and they're probably the 2 highest possession getters on the ground, those two, and there's nothing better than a on-baller being damaging around the ground, but also going forward and kicking goals. You know, you look at the greats, and they all scored heavily. The great on-ballers. So Philo's certainly doing that with his kicking tonight. It's one of the most impressive kicking displays I've seen.
Yeah, he's always been a powerful kick, but we saw last week that he was just off target a bit, but tonight he's been right on song and spent a fair bit of time forward as well. So, and keeps working hard down there as overall reaches over the top, wins the tap, and at ground level it's a free kick going to be paid here to Jerome Motlop for being held. He hands it off to Marlon Motlop, who kicks down, and the big fella White almost took the mark. The hand pass comes back out here to Clee. Clee goes to the outer side where Fijo at ground level works hard, gets a hand pass back looking for Arbin. He picks it up, but he's quickly wrapped up in the tackle, and the ball spills out now, just paddling it around, and eventually Peris comes away and kicks long down the line. It's punched away from behind, and well done by Matthew Motlop to get it back to Thompson. Thompson out in front of Jerome Motlop in some space out here. His kick finds Totham going forward, and he's got a player in some space over the top. That's Patrick. Spilt the mark, but has time to recover. Chips the pass in, but again, disciplined defence, and it's Mitch Norton again who comes in and just kills the ball over the boundary line, and he's got pretty good closing speed for a big fella, and just thumped that one away. So White doing the ruck work. He's uncontested and just battered it forward. East came in and copped one high. He was just dropped his knees a little bit perhaps as the contact came, but the free kick was there, and Jackson East in his first game for Wanderers tonight, and he's probably been almost their best player, I would think. He's had plenty of the ball, and now an opportunity to score a goal as well. kicks it high. That's not coming back at all. In fact, if anything, it's drifting the other way and through for a behind. So not the goal that Wanderers were looking for. And Brady Philo, having kicked the previous goal, is now back at the other end of the ground taking the kick in, which he often does, and runs out of the goal square, goes for the barrel, doesn't quite catch it, but gets a fair bit of distance out. Politis just hooks a hand pass forward in hope, but Marley King gets wrapped in the tackle, and now the hand pass finds Locke, who goes forward. Cameron Eilert gets out over the back, loses his opponent, hand passes forward to Scott. Scott makes a bit of ground, gets jumper tackled there, and Kennedy didn't take possession of the ball cleanly. Dre Thompson at ground level tries to force it forward. A toe poke off the ground from Cooper Darms, I think it was, and he's put it through for another Nightcliff goal. And yeah, that one just out of a bit of loose ball, and saw the opportunity, threw his boot at it, and got it through for a goal.
It comes out of a turnover right in front of us here, where Wanderers had a 3-on-1, and they still managed to turn it over when the big fella Locke managed to beat him and just push the ball forward. And they were a bit unlucky there, Wanderers, that they didn't get possession of that. But look at this, it's an opportunity goal by Darms. He's had a pretty good night tonight in his first game for Nightcliff. Obviously comes with pretty good record, and he's going to be a pretty good player for Nightcliff this year, I would say.
Yeah, another one of them that solid recruiters. Wanderers get it forward this time, and running onto it was Domit, but couldn't keep the ball in play, and it'll be a boundary throw in the right forward pocket for Wanderers at the airport end of the ground.
We're coming up to 12 minutes now in the quarter four. So here at TIO Stadium, you're listening to round 3 action live from TIO Stadium here in Darwin.
So Locke over the top, pats it forward. Fijo kicks off the ground. Bailey Edwards back there, loops the hand pass over the top to Twycross, who clears out of defence. The mark was spilt there by Jesse Marshall, and umpire thought that he was wrapping it up. He half blew the whistle, but didn't really affect the outcome as the ball spilled over the boundary line anyway. So,
am I seeing things, or is that umpire apologising?
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever seen that. I think you can write that one down and start taking photos of that, I reckon.
Umpire Tim Bitterscombe, good on you. Acknowledge a half mistake, but Marshall on the left foot, inboard Davidson just through his hands. It's batted away, and Lewis runs onto it now, kicks a high ball forward. It slips out the back. Morris at the back sweeps a hand pass across. Good use of the ball from Rinaldi out to Edwards, and Nightcliff run it away again as Scott takes the mark on the outer wing. He's got players running forward, and offhands Peris just bats it forward now and gives Emery the chance to run onto it in a bit of space out wide, but that space gets closed down pretty well by Ankin Lewis, and he laid a good tackle and is rewarded with the free kick. The advantage is paid, and Wanderers work it round the outer side of the ground. Running onto it out there is Cabillo. He chips the ball inboard and finds Davidson once again. Davidson swings the ball in. He's got a player out the back. That's a pretty good kick, and it's Arbin that he's found drifting forward, and Arbin will go back and take the set shot.
Nice bit of play. They moved it forward before Nightcliff could set up that zone defence that they do. They protect the space, so they got it and moved it quick. Took advantage of that free kick and moved it quickly through Davidson, who, as you said earlier, it's a tough job working as a high half forward, and he's done it pretty well tonight. Like, he's worked really hard.
Nathan Arbin comes in, kicks, and just got it over the head of Morris on the goal line. So reward for Wanderers for that passage of play and their persistence, and a goal for Arbin on the night as well. So just tidies that scoreboard a bit, but not entirely, as you see that Nightcliff have got 20 goals on the board, and Wanderers score their 6th at the 14.5-minute mark of this final quarter.
20 goal 7's good kicking too, Stu.
Yeah,
So,
it is.
You know, it's not just that, and we've said it many times in the call, but it's 27's really good kicking, but it's their kicking around the ground too that's been good. So we'll yet to see what the final score will be if Nightcliff can get on the end of a few more.
Tardry swings the hand pass over the top. Marlon Motlop at ground level just couldn't quite get his hands on it, and the ball caught in underneath, and it'll be a ball up again. Politis stands up, and Clee hands the ball back to the umpire for the ball up in the centre of the ground. Lock in front, just bats it down looking for Politis, couldn't find him. Picked up nicely there by Domick, who kicks long inside forward 50 over the back. Fijo tries to swing it around, but Morris was there putting the pressure on. I think Morris even got kicked in the wrist there as Fijo had the shot at goal that went out of bounds on the full. He looks to be in a bit of trouble down there at half back, but Brown will bring the ball into play around the boundary. Taylor comes in late, gets a fist of the ball at ground level, and that's forced over the boundary line, touched over, and it'll be a boundary throw in again. So Nightcliff ringing the changes here. Philo back on after a short spell, and straight back into the action here as ball batted forward as Peris runs onto it, and he gets tackled and didn't dispose of the ball, so it's a Wanderers free kick, and going to Fuller. Brown working as hard as ever, makes his way to the front, punches it away, but Lewis gets a kick forward. Chance at ground level. Davidson fishes it straight out to King on the outside of the boot. That's a good finish from 30 out from one step, and terrific work at ground level by Davidson. Just picked the ball up and hand passed it as he was picking it up out to King, and King finished nicely for Wanderers. So 2 in a row again for Wanderers in this last quarter. Just put a bit more respectability on that scoreboard. From the restart, Fuller doing the ruck work, gets it down to Clee out to Domick goes long down towards half forward at ground level. Cullinan was dragged off the ball there, and he'll take the free kick, and another opportunity for Wanderers to get on the scoreboard. Probably the Nightcliff defender a bit unsighted. The ball slipped out of Cullinan's hand, and he was just dragged off in the tackle.
Yeah, that's Big Norton. He's had a pretty good night. He seemed as they play on. He wasn't confident about the kick and giving it to Marlon Motlop.
Yep, handed off to Marlon Motlop was a pretty good decision in the end, and Motlop drilled it straight through the middle. So Wanderers haven't thrown it in here. They've hit back with the last 3 goals of the game so far as we head towards the time on period of this final quarter. So
Wanderers haven't been, they've been all right this year. So, it's good to see them getting these few goals, because you wouldn't want it to, the old kick in the gut sort of thing where, they take them a couple of weeks to get over a bad effort like this. So they're still up and about, and they're still kicking goals. So we'll hopefully we can see them on the improve in the coming weeks.
So from the hit out, it's Jerome Motlop at ground level. He drives Wanderers forward again as Cullinan comes out, but just got bundled out of the way. Davidson comes across, bats it forward. Moody at ground level does well, gets it to Zeus. Zeus caught with the ball there. The ball spilled out. Totham picks up and now swings around, kicks blindly inside forward 50, and over the top was Moody, but the free kick's going to go to Darms. I reckon it might be back there. No, it's not. It's the other Moody. It's Jay Moody who will will receive the free kick for a bit of front-on contact in the contest from Davidson. So just getting into the right position before. I'm not sure what the signal is.
Really going to affect the outcome of the game, yes.
So Moody chips the ball short to Philo. Philo at half-back now swings around on the right boot. He goes the barrel, he wobbles it off the side of the boot, punched away from behind into the hands of Totham. Totham drills the ball forward. Davidson again. Marlon Motlop on the crumbs, kicks off the ground. Inside forward 50. Brown back there against Fijo. It goes through Brown's legs, but maybe he did that on purpose. Got it to Moody, and working back in defence was Darms, and he was happy to absorb the pressure and work the ball over the goal line for a rush behind. Nathan Brown, as usual, to bring the ball back into play. Bit of the sting gone out of the game, I think, now, as he goes out wide. It's just overcooked that and over Edwards' head, and he's laid a high tackle in the end, and the kick comes in, and Marley King gets on the end of this one. So it's if you tuned in the last 5 minutes, you'd think that Wanderers will be winning the game pretty easily, but King kicks long in. Domic coming in from the side, couldn't take the mark, and again through for a behind, and yeah, the ball's been all in Wanderers forward half for the last 5 minutes as Philo brings the ball back in to the outer side of the ground, goes long out wide, the ball gets over the back. Running onto it out there as Scott pats it to his own advantage and runs on again now. It's got a bit of pace, nicely shepherded there by Twycross, and Scott runs in. That's a beautiful delivery to Mummery on the lead, deep in the forward pocket, and I'm sure we'll see another bit of magic from Mummery in the forward pocket out here as he weighs up his options, but I think he's really only got eyes on the goal. So at the moment he's standing outside the boundary line as he comes in for this shot on goal, shaping to kick the drop punt from out there. And it just lays it across the boot in the end, but hasn't brought that one back far enough, and through for behind. So Marshall bringing the ball back into play, goes long to the outer side of the ground. Davidson in the contest, but plenty of Nightcliff players as well as that chip pass comes in. Just a bit too high for Philo this time, and Motlop working back, gives the hand pass and then receives back, and now kicks grandstand side looking for Dre Thompson. The ball gets out the back. Nathan Brown out there cleverly just worked the ball forward. Thompson didn't give up though, got his hand in there, and now he has the ball at his feet under pressure. Cleverly kicks it off the ground to the advantage of Motlop, and Jerome Motlop chips the ball inboard, and that's a beautiful pass and found Arbin, who's got some players in the goal square. He's called to play on now, so he's going to have to go short, which he was thinking of doing anyway, and in the end that was probably the right option, and it's gone to Marley King, who has another chance to kick at goal from only about 25 metres out.
Where have they been all night?
Yeah.
Stu, where have they been?
Amazing. So King not taking too much time over this one, kicks towards goal, and again the kick is good. So that's the last 4 goals of the game to Wanderers, and King's kicked 2 of those. So they've kept having a crack, and some good work down on the boundary here in front of us by Dre Thompson. He was under all sorts of pressure, kept battling on, and eventually got a kick out of the air and got Wanderers going forward, and they found a couple of targets inside 50 and got themselves another goal. So you just see it there, and Motlop there with the kick inboard was a good pass, and then Arbin chipped it across. So 4 in a row to Wanderers. I'm not sure that Lee Crossman, the Nightcliff coach, would be all that happy with that, but he'd be pretty happy with the rest of the night, I would think, as it's Clee, who gets the clearance for Wanderers this time, down to half forward. Ball spills to Peris. His hand pass misses the target. Coming in there was Big White, got it to King. King drills the pass forward, it slips out the back, and the big fella Norton works back there and kicks around grandstand side, and Nathan Brown was happy to punch that towards the boundary line and over for a stoppage again. 25 minutes gone in this final quarter. We're ticking towards the end of the game, and it's been an impressive performance by Nightcliff, but one where Wanderers have just kept going, kept having a crack, and got themselves a few goals at the end of the game as Clee loses his footing there and comes off his boot and rolls over the boundary line.
Certainly been good to watch in this last quarter, Wanderers. They, you know, for someone who's getting pretty heavily defeated, to come out and dominate the quarter like that, and I'll call it that. They've pretty much dominated it. They've moved the ball forward at will. So, yeah, they look good.
Oh, Philo hit pretty solidly in that contest. He's still down on the ground behind play. Just got one in the midsection, I think. So. At ground level, a quick kick forward by Politis. It's floating forward, but sitting underneath it was Marshall. He takes the mark and kicks straight down in the corridor to Marlon Motlop. He's got a runner out wide, and he uses him out to Marley King. He plays on straight away, kicks into Dre Thompson at half forward, gives back to King, running onto the ball, kicks long towards goal, and would you believe it? He's kicked another one. So that's the last 5 of the game to Wanderers, and King's kicked 3 of them.
He's actually, how he can run like that through the middle of the ground unattended by a Nightcliff defender. I'm sure you mentioned the Nightcliff coach before. He would not be happy with that at all. Can we see him here? It's where you need a coach's box. That's a coach killer. Look at him. He's kicked 2 goals already in the last quarter, and he's just running through the middle of the ground like that, as you can see on the replay. Blokes that are on fire like that, you really need to stand them, I think, Stu. But is there a bit of a queue in the rack syndrome here for the Tigers, I think?
Yeah.
But still, Wanderers been good to watch.
It's been good, and we're back in the middle again. This time the hand pass comes out the back. Philo just had it chopped off by Domick, and now he runs forward from centre, kicks long to the goal square. It's a one-on-one contest. Morris back there got to best position, but then spilt the mark and got it out here to Norton, who has been reliable all night, and he finds Brown in the back pocket. So Brown has Peris leading for him here and uses the ball nicely to him at half back. Got a couple of players leading at him as the siren goes to end the game, and yeah, what looked to be a game that was fizzing out a bit as a spectacle came to life, with Wanderers kicking those last 5 goals and winning the last quarter and winning the last half, I think, in the end. So yeah, didn't toss it in, and there's something for them to work with, I think, Dave.
Yeah, absolutely. That's I shouldn't be disappointed with the last quarter, but I would be disappointed with the first 3, Stu, because they were just unable to curb the influences that the main Nightcliff players had on this game. Too many times we've just seen their best players unattended. So, I've written a few notes down here that I just want to mention. The mummery magic that we've seen tonight. Yeah. A couple of one-handeds, very impressive, and love to see it. But the elite Philo kicking was on show tonight for everybody to see, and you people at home would have seen it as well. I was impressed with Zeus with his ability to push forward and put the scoreboard pressure on the Wanderers. That's a good trait to have. I thought Locke, the big man, was very good, given these guys' first use of the ball, and sort of down back, 2 hard-working, old-fashioned defenders in Brown and Norton. Not the not that flashy player, but just in the right spots at the right time and getting a hand in bits and pieces. So I thought they were pretty good, but probably the most hard-working guys for Wanderers, was Davidson. Tried hard all night, East, and Taylor down back was under a lot of pressure all night, but he tried his best, and obviously late, we had the guy kicking 3 in the last quarter.
Marley King.
So, you know, even though it was the scoreboard says it at that last quarter, most impressive. So,
yeah.
Other than that, we might wrap the evening up, Stu. Thanks for the evening. We've been bringing you round 3 action live from TIO Stadium here in Darwin, Larrakia country, and we hope to see you all again soon. I'm Dave Kennedy, and this is Stu Davis. Good night for now.